So, ejaculation. Do you know that it can actually be a really cool meditation in and of itself? I mean, I know we're in November, and no, not November is a thing where people say, hold in your splooge, don't let it out of you. But I'm actually a big believer that ejaculating is a very healthy, important thing for us to do as penised individuals. And in fact, in both Ayurveda, the health science of India, and traditional Chinese medicine, they actually say it's important for men to ejaculate regularly. So instead of joining these other influencers on a campaign for November saying, hold it all in, I'm gonna say, let it all out. And instead, let your ejaculatory experience be a spiritual one. So if we've never met each other, I'm Kalen. I'm an ecstatic spirituality coach. I help people connect their sex life, their spiritual life, their gender identity, sexual identity, their sense of belonging and authenticity all together, whether it's here on YouTube, one-on-one coaching, or with my books. Now, I'm a big believer that our sex life can be a tremendous gateway to our enlightenment, a vibrant spiritual life, a vibrant personal life, and the ejaculatory experience can be a huge part of that. I mean, like, who doesn't love just seeing a huge load shoot across the room? I know I do. And I do want to be clear that I do find that ejaculation and orgasm are separate things. You can't have an orgasm without ejaculating, and you can't ejaculate without having an orgasm, though that's not as much fun. And in other videos I've talked about those things and the state of orgasm, but today we're going to focus specifically on ejaculation because I don't think that's something we've ever actually talked about before here on this YouTube channel. Now, there are actually spiritual traditions that talk about the state of orgasm and the state of ejaculation as being gateways into a more expansive, a more ecstatic state of being, where it's not just the physical pleasure of the experience itself, but it's this expansive, juicy, delicious, connected, my identity kind of dissolves and merges with the universe around me sort of experience. And so in fact, this morning I was doing my meditation practice, which often includes some form of mindful masturbation as part of it. And unexpectedly, I ended up moving into ejaculation, which is not something that happens often. It's something I usually try to keep and save for later on in my day when I'm having sex with my husband or a moment which feels significant. But there it was happening. And instead of me chastising myself about it, instead I just sunk into the experience. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, ejaculation experiences were mind-altering. It was like, oh God, my whole body's convulsing, I'm writhing on the floor, the world whites out. But as I've gotten older, that's much less and less the case. It will sometimes happen that an ejaculation will be mind-altering on its own, but more or less it's kind of a non-event. A lot of the times it's just kind of oh, there it was. Okay. And so for me today, as I settled into the ejaculation experience, I turned my focus to my breath, to my body, and as I focused within, I felt this huge flow of ecstasy flowing through me. And as I let my mind and body focus on that, the experience of the orgasmic high, the ejaculatory high, started to grow bigger and more full and last. And I found myself sitting there in the afterglow of the ejaculation for minutes and minutes, and it just kept flowing richly within me. And I really feel like that experience is very converse to how most guys handle the moments post-ejaculation. I don't know about you, but I think most guys after they come are like, I'm heading to the restroom to clean off, or hey, whoever I was having sex with, that was great, I'm gonna grab my stuff and go. We tend not to just sit in the experience with our partner or with ourselves. Watch ourselves breathe, watch ourselves flow. And so that's my invitation for you. The next time you come, can you enjoy the experience and be in it? Can you feel the sensations? Can you sit there and treat it as a meditation? Treat it as a divine gift, as a spiritual happening, rather than as a transition point to other things. Because if you can do that, you're gonna start to see all of these sacred moments appearing in your life. You're gonna see that there's all these miracles that happen every day that are often just too distracted, too busy, too technologically engaged to notice. I'm a big believer that life brings you all the spiritual teachers that you need. You can find a spiritual teacher in a rock, or a tree, or a sunset. Maybe the right person comes and tells you the word or the sentence you needed to hear. What happens in your body with random things that feel weird, or pleasurable things that happen, or touch, or senses, can be our teachers. I was actually going online today to look up what some people had to say about this tantric text called the Vagana Bhairava, which does talk about orgasm and ejaculation and sex as being meditative tools. And I was reminded of how much I'm not a fan of a lot of quote-unquote spiritual masters, spiritual teachers, because I often come with a little bit of ego. I often come with a sense of, I have this figured out, and let me tell you, and let me explain to you this 2,000-year-old text of a 500-year-old dead religion and tell you what it really means. I don't think we need that. I think all the keys for your happiness, for your joy, for your enlightenment already lies within you. And yes, someone else can give you a useful piece of information that helps you on your path, but you are your greatest teacher, and the universe is conspiring to bring you what you need to learn and grow. And I am going to share really quick a reading of a sutra from the Vajrayana Bhairava. It's a really beautiful translation that I love called The Radiant Sutras by Lauren Roche. It is definitely not literal. There are more literal academic translations that I really don't like, but even though this does not give you an accurate representation of this particular sutra, it does give you a meditative tool that is reflective of the larger idea. So just close your eyes and listen to this. At the moment of orgasm, the truth is illuminated, the one everyone longs for. Lovemaking is riding the currents of excitation into revelation. Two rivers flow together, the body becomes quivering. No inside and no outside, only the delight of union. The mind releases itself into divine energy and the body knows where it came from. This is reality, and it is always here. Everyone craves the source, and it is always everywhere. So can you see your ejaculations as holy, as sacred, as beautiful, and as a meditative tool for your tool belt to be celebrated, whether it's No Nut November or any other time of the year. I'm Kalen. If you found this useful, feel free to comment, share, like, subscribe. You can also work with me one-on-one. Check out my coaching website, ecstaticself.com. You can also follow me on my other platforms, Patreon, Twitter, which is naked Twitter also, and regular Twitter. I also have an OnlyFans. So yeah, whatever floats your boat, you can find more of me there. Hey y'all, thank you so much. Blessings to you. Namaste. Be well.